Chapter 89, Revisiting Langlang Village, where things are not what they used to be, home is where the heart is too. Liang Lion wore a gentle smile and gave a small nod. Han Yi agreed enthusiastically, indeed, there is no lack of allies on the path ahead. The world knows you, it's just as logical as this poetry is. I dedicate this poetry to you, and to myself too. Brilliant! Prefect Liang praised, looking at Han Yi riding off on his sword, blending into the multitude of sword cultivators in the sky. He couldn't help but feel nostalgic. Han Yi was no longer the man he used to be. To put it bluntly, Han Yi had become a person he had to respect. A disciple about to enter the inner sect of the Celestial School was definitely more significant than a prefect. Furthermore, he felt that, in the future, Han Yi would inevitably become a person he looked up to. After the hectic journey, Han Yi, along with many disciples, returned to the sect. Wang Daniu was extremely excited as he looked down at the familiar mountain range and shouted, "Brother Han, we're almost at Langlang Village. Shouldn't we go back and take a look?" Dania's eyes were filled with anticipation as he beseeched Miss Hongliu. Langlang Village. Han Yi murmured, nodding with a smile, "All right, it's on the way. It'd be good to go back and have a look. Daniu, you haven't been home for more than a year. You guys go, I'll return to the sect first," Lin Shihuang announced before mounting his magic treasure and heading forward. Han Yi and Wang Daniu, on the other hand, left the group, becoming two streaks of light descending from the sky to Langlang Village. Compared to before, the entrance of the village now boasted a giant and imposing stone stele marked with Blessed Land of Dragon Sparrow Sect in Qingyun State. Seeing these words, Han Yi felt warmth for the Dragon Sparrow sect's actions. Many cultivators had emerged from Langlang Village. The stone stele was worthy of those words. Looking into the village, stepping into it, Han Yi felt a touch of homesickness. Most familiar faces remained, except for the young women washing clothes by the Strengthy were all different. Most likely, they got married. Thinking back, after he first entered Liu Manor, many matchmakers visited his home to propose marriages. Han Yi couldn't help but smile. He didn't brazenly expose himself in front of the villagers, but used the concealment technique to hide his figure. He didn't want to disturb everyone. "Brother Han, I want to visit Honglia's home." Wang Daniu asked shyly, "Go ahead." Han Yi naturally wouldn't stop him, so he let him go. Passing the small river where he used to wash up after his training sessions, and walking on the cobblestone road, he remembered the times when he idly strolled about here after meals. Along the way, he noticed Widow Lia's house was terribly dilapidated, seemingly uninhabited. His Wei Wu legacy attribute was first found here. Recalling his pitiful condition back then, Han Yi couldn't help but shake his head and smile bitterly. He asked a passing villager brother, "Can I ask something?" "Where did Widow Liu go?" The villager, returning with a yoke of oxen, found Han Yi somewhat familiar. He responded, "Oh, her. She moved out long ago, about half a year now. She went with a wealthy old man to the county, I heard. She's supporting a young scholar to study. She's in the autumn chamber now." "Wait, why do you look so familiar?" You are Hanya." The villager finally recognized Han Yi, exclaiming in shock. "Hush!" Hanya laughed lightly and gestured for silence. The villager whispered reluctantly, "Han Yi, you don't know, but since you left, that Widow Liu seemed to turn into another person. She stopped seducing men, started managing her household, and became a virtuous woman. It was like it'd seen a ghost." "Oh, is that so? Well, that's great. How about Liu Minorno?" "Luminor looks like they're going to move all the way to the capital. They've been moving their stuff in batches, and today seems to be their last day," the villager recalled. "Han Yi, are you an immortal now?" The villager looked at Han Yi up and down, asking nervously. "Not yet, it's still a long way off." Han Yi felt embarrassed. "If you want to find the Liu Manor, you should hurry. The house has been sold, and the place will soon be vacant." "All right." Han Yi arrived at the grand front door of Liu Manor. He watched as carriage after carriage transported goods, driven by new family servants and guards escorting the items for the long journey. He was once one of them. "Where is Mr. Liu and the others? Are they still here?" Hanier approached to inquire. These new servants didn't recognize Han Yi. Assuming he was an old friend of the master, they replied, "You're late. The master moved out several days to a month ago. We are here to clean up the last batch of items and transport them to the capital. The master has returned to his family and inherited the business. The house here has been disposed of." "I see." Han Yi's expression was somewhat regretful upon hearing this. He had intended to thank Mrs. Liu. It was she who helped him get rid of the servitude contract, but now, it seemed, there wouldn't likely be another opportunity. As he watched the carriages disappear, Han Yi stood alone at the desolate entrance of Liu Manor. The main gate was locked, but he leapt over it and landed in the courtyard. There was dust everywhere, and the manor was utterly vacant. Han Yi went to where he once practiced his martial arts. The wooden stakes were all still there. The artificial mountain was overgrown with weeds. The dog hole in the backyard was still uncovered. Stroking the fist pits on the wooden stakes, he leaned down to look at the deeply indented bluestone slabs and the heavy stone locks that were placed in the corner of the wall. They all bore the marks of his past. All was impermanent. Han Yi left the large courtyard of Liu Manor in search of Da Niu and departed on his sword,